All right. Welcome in, Nagy Nation. It is Phil Nagy. It is Kit Nagy. It is Nagy on Sports here. One more day of Wildcard Sims coming at you. Very surprising, maybe the most surprising matchup of all of the Wildcard teams that we've seen so far here. The 10-7 Atlanta Falcons, they had to win to get in, and they beat the Buccaneers badly in Week 18 to squeak in. And they're going to come and be hosted by the number 2 seed, 12-5, New York Football Giants here in MetLife. Kid, how we doing this morning?
Doing well, and this certainly is a surprising matchup here in the wild card. I don't think you mentioned yesterday, like what would the prop bet have to be for this? But I'm sure the line would be absurd if there even is a line on this game existing. I don't think anyone would really expect either of these squads to be in this position, but they made it in our sim with Atlanta just barely getting in, and the Giants were just surprisingly good throughout our sim.
And again, we talked about it early at the beginning of the 2022 sim after all the free agents and all of the draft picks and things were in, that this was a particularly strong draft class, not just in the sim, but in real life, just because of the COVID sort of redshirt year.
Right.
A lot of top prospects, and both of these teams have a lot of rookies, including this guy trotting out on the field right now. You can see the rookie Desmond Ridder, 3,400 yards. 23 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Morning, welcome in, Hut.
But for the Giants side of things, having Saquon Barkley be healthy for an entire season is a big deal.
Absolutely, that was huge, and their defense has played well. Again, the addition of Kayvon Thibodeau, you can see bottom of the line, number 5, has already popped as a superstar. Next to Leonard Williams on that line, of course, Azeez Ojulari from last year's draft as well. So they're continuing to put pieces together on the defensive side of the ball, and then again, of course, Evan Neal anchoring the new look offensive line. And yeah, a healthy Saquon certainly can't be understated. 2nd and 9, first down throw on a little slant from the right to the left side. Desmond Ridder, 15 yards. That's the old Cleveland Brown, Kaderil Hodge on the catch.
Yeah, actually a really nice tight window throw there from Desmond Ridder. Sneaks it just over the front level to get it to his man behind. That was well done.
Here's Cordero Patterson, the running back for the Falcons, and he knifes the left side for just a 2-yard gain. On that first down carry, rookie linebacker Micah McFadden on the tackle right side. Caught up in the air, that's Brian Edwards, and he'll go down at the 47-yard line, give him 10, and give him a first down as we look deep into the eyes of Daniel Jones there on the sideline.
Looks just like him, though.
Yes, some of the people do look just like them. Ridder now looking, firing right side, incomplete. He tried to go up high for Cordero Patterson, who sort of celebrated like he was the one who should get credit for the PBU. He was like, no, shut it down, shut it down. Ridder firing right side. There's the star. You see the superstar X Factor underneath him. That's going to be Kyle Pitts, and he'll make it a 3rd and 1 after a 9-yard gain.
A lot of folks are interested to see what Kyle Pitts will do in this season, as many think his sophomore season is potential for him to really break out.
Left side stretch it, first down and more. Cordero Patterson spins off of a tackler. It'll get pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Nice run there for Cordero Patterson. Again, appreciate everybody joining us. We did 3 games yesterday, capped off by an incredible Browns and Jaguars. Yes, you heard that correctly. Browns and Jaguars matchup last night, where the Browns were really struggling. We're down 28-17 at one point. Came back to win 45-28, but it was an absolutely bonkers game, and it was fun to have many of you join us for that one. 2nd and 7 through a hole on the left side. Patterson, another first down run before Xavier Mckinney drags him to the turf now. First down at the 13-yard line, and the Falcons with a very impressive opening drive here.
Indeed. They've put together some nice progress here, very efficient, positive plays, and just marching down the field.
Indeed, right side. Here's Damian Williams. New backup running back here in town, and Williams picks up a nice gain of 8 to the right side before the rookie Darian Beavers, Cincinnati Bearcat linebacker, brings him down. Now 2nd and 2. Motion coming from Olamide Zaccheaus. Now give it up the middle to Patterson, and he's going to be met in the hole and brought down. There's Beavers once again. Very nice play there. Again, the rookie linebacker, Darian Beavers, late round pick, and he is filled in here nicely, plays in some sub-package looks. Ritter, blitz coming, left side, he fires, he's got a man, Zaccheaus! Touchdown Falcons! I think he got them both in.
Yeah, he sure did. That's definitely a touchdown, and nice little cut back to the corner there as he was coming on an in route out of that bunch, and then broke back to the corner, and it was just waiting for that to open up as Desmond Ritter floats a beautiful ball back to the corner of the end zone there.
Very nice pass, and that's a touchdown for the Falcons. They strike first here. Beautiful opening drive. Nice mix of run and pass. Got several people involved. Actually, the only person we didn't really hear from was the rookie Drake London, who had a fantastic season in his rookie year with about 90 catches, over 1,000 yards receiving, and about 10 touchdowns. Again, part of the reason that this Falcons team is in this position.
Yeah, not part of that opening drive, but certainly expect him to be a big fixture here in this game going forward as the Falcons continue to work on offense.
Here's a look at Danny Dimes, 4,500 yards passing in this year's sim, and 26 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. And again, a healthy Saquon Barkley is certainly the biggest factor in their success this season now. And they'll give it to Saquon. Right side, he'll juke back to the middle, then go back to the outside before Ebiketie gets him. Rookie defensive lineman out of Penn State, Arnold Ebiketie, credited with that tackle. Stretch it again to the right side. He'll try to cut back to the middle, and there's nothing there. And same guy, Ebiketie, waiting for him. Now a 3rd and 10. Looks like they tried to run the same exact play twice in a row there.
They sure did.
3rd and 10. Danny back to pass. Sitting, waiting, sitting, waiting against the 3-man rush. He's got all kinds of time. Now coming back to the football on the right side is his receiver, and that's a big catch. Ricky Seals-Jones, the tight end and former Brown, 14 yards and a first down.
Well, it's almost like the secondary kind of gave up a little bit on that play, and if you're only going to rush 3, you can't afford to do that. Look how open he is, just sitting in a gap. No one even in the screen for the Falcons there. With a 3-man rush, obviously, you got a lot of folks back there. You can't be giving up on coverage or giving him that much time.
Play action for Danny Dimes. Now Jones fires left side. Got a man on the sideline, a little toe drag swag, and it's Ricky Seals-Jones again for another first down. Brian Daboll loves it on the sideline. Coming over from Buffalo. Again, I've got them running Buffalo's playbook. Some similarities between Daniel Jones and Josh Allen. I wouldn't say a bunch, but they both have a little bit more athleticism than maybe they should for their size and stature. Now, athleticism will not get him away from Lorenzo Carter, former Carolina Panther, who blitzes around that left tackle. That's the rookie Evan Neal down there, but you can see as well, he has also popped as a superstar. Has Evan Neal look at the bottom of that line.
Indeed. Welcome in, Mason. Welcome in, Richard. Glad to have you. Go
Hey,
Browns.
guys. Good morning, guys. Yeah, welcome in, Richard. 3rd and 13 now. Can they get another long conversion? Maybe they'll look in the direction of Seals-Jones. Back to pass, firing right side, going up high. It is Seals-Jones, but he can't bring it in as he's hitting the back, and he'll drop the football now. That's going to set up a 55-yarder, 56-yarder here. Graham Gano's kick is up, and he doinks it off the right upright. So no dice here for the Giants. Their opening drive comes up short, and they're going to give the Falcons awesome field position.
They sure are, and back to that attempted catch from Ricky Seals-Jones. You want him to come away with that. He had both hands on it, even through the contact and those contested catches. You want when you have both hands on the ball, especially when other hands aren't involved at the catch point, you should certainly come away with those every time.
Indeed. Now Ritter to Zaccheaus for 8 more, and Ritter looks sharp here to start the game. Back to pass on a little play action look. Got plenty of time again as they rush 4. Right side coming back to the football. There's Pitts, and he's open down the field to the 24-yard line. Kyle Pitts with a big catch, his 3rd already of the first quarter.
It's early, but not that early for me, Mason. It's 7 here. I've been up for about an hour.
He's an early riser out there on the left coast. But we do appreciate him being up for this one. Motion coming, fake the little jet sweep, give it to Patterson, and he'll go down immediately. As that's Cordero Flott, rookie cornerback, who makes a tackle there. LSU product. 2nd and 10. Short drop, short throw, left side to the running back, Cordero Patterson. And he'll pick up just a couple. Welcome on, Fellegren. Good morning. Glad you could join us. Ritter, 3rd and 9. Looking deep. End zone. Goes up. Edwards, and he can't quite bring it down. Had it in his hands, but got hit by 2 different players midair, and Arthur Smith can't believe the drop. And the Young-Hoo Koo field goal attempt waits.
Again, same comment going the other way. Again, you get that ball in both hands. No other hands at the catch point. You really need to come away with it, even through the contact. That's what they pay those big receivers to do. So those are catches that you really need to come away with, because those will be considered drops.
Brian Edwards is one of those big receivers, about 6'2", 6'3". Well, we appreciate you being on with us until your writing session, Fellegren. All right, back out onto the field now. Again, that missed field goal setting up those 3 points. Not a traditional turnover in the sense of the turnover metric, but still very much counts and points off of that sudden change of field position. Barkley to the right side, give him 2, his first 2 positive yards of the game.
Yeah, Mason, Watson really did ball out, especially later into that game. He started to figure out the winds enough to be able to control it, and then was just throwing darts.
Yeah, the wind was ridiculous. And, of course, throwing another 150-plus yards from Nick Chubb on, 8 carries or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think he had, 10, like 17 for 170 or something like that, right? Because he was about 10 per clip.
Yeah, he had 17 for 170. Yeah, you're right. That's
something around that
he ended with. But he should have had almost double that in both. So, just the way he was running was incredible. I still am flummoxed as to why they weren't running the ball more in those conditions. But, again, a win is a win.
You and me both up the middle, and he'll lose yardage again. How about this rookie Arnold Ibikiti? Again, we talked about young players making impacts for both of these rosters, and I think Ibikiti was a 2nd-round pick maybe for the Falcons.
I think that's right.
Pass rusher out of Penn State, and he's been very solid so far here to start the game.
Well, he's been really good for the Falcons in the sim. The few times we've seen him, Ibikiti has been a presence on that D-line, just showing up in games, making big plays.
3rd and 6 now. Daniel Jones, they're going to give a little delayed handoff to Barkley, and it's not going to be fooling anybody. He'll lose another yard. Deion Jones, the middle linebacker, shoots that A-gap aggressively, and he will go down, and they're going to have to punt here on a 4th and 7. That brings in ye old Scottish Hammer.
Still got a soft spot for the Scottish Hammer. I like him. He's got a great personality, and he's not the most consistent kicker, which is why he didn't stick around with Cleveland. But definitely appreciate his story, and definitely like him.
Mason, you're right. It was an all-timer last night. Crazy game. The negative 1-yard punt by Corey Bojorquez was Fellegren's favorite play.
Oh man.
Pretty wild indeed, as Patterson's going to kind of stay up and then bump and then do some dance moves there in the middle of the hole.
I was going to say, it almost looked like a limbo bar there. He was bending over backwards, still running the ball. That was really weird.
And that's the end of the first quarter. 10-0, they'll flip the field. Ritter at his own 22, the rookie quarterback out of Cincinnati. Back to pass, floating it right side and over the head of his receiver.
Yeah, that was
tape.
That one he can't blame on the wins. We saw a lot of that in the last game, but there were a lot of wins in that game, and not wind-aided in this case.
3rd and 6 to the right side, and that's going to be Kyle Pitts one more time for a first down. Already his 4th catch of the first quarter and 15 seconds here. So they've gone early and often to him. Still have yet to see Drake London. We'll see, I'm sure it's only a matter of time, as again, he has become a very special player here. Falcons again, Pitts again. Blake Martinez makes the tackle. 10 for 13 now for Desmond Ridder to start this game in his first ever playoff start in his first NFL season. Play action and then throw it to Patterson out of the backfield. Good play there by Julian Love, the safety, to get him down shortly. But it is another first down for these Falcons. They're just driving methodically down the field again.
Sure did, and if you notice where he cut his route out, he could have entered the flat at about a yard, but instead he sets up at about 3 yards, just past the line of scrimmage, or the line to gain. Smart field presence there to gain the first down.
Little skinny drag across the middle. It's Edwards. First down to the 40, past the 40 into Giant territory. Call it the 37, and a big first down for the Falcons there. Brian Edwards coming over from the Raiders this offseason, of course. Raiders had a little bit of an upgrade at that wide receiver position. Some guy named Devontae showed up, and Edwards was no longer needed. They try Patterson again up the middle, and he will not get any this time, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a couple of those punts that you're talking about there in the chat reminded me of the glitch play with like scrums developing underneath, as it was just like,
whoop, tipped, and they caught London, touchdown! Sorry to cut you off, Kit. There he is, the rookie, making his presence felt a little tip drill to himself.
Yeah, you absolutely called for him, and there he is, first catch of the ball game, and what a beauty that was. He just kind of tipped it up, defender lost track of it, and then he just makes a beautiful catch off the tip drill to come away with a touchdown.
Really, really good concentration, a really, really great catch, Drake London. And how about the Falcons, the 10-7 Falcons, imposing their will early on the home field advantage.
That's right.
12-5 Giants. And again, the Giants are a young football team too. This is clearly their first playoff game in a while, certainly with this regime and this set of players. So you wonder how mentally they're going to be able to bounce back from this early deficit.
That's right. It's been since what it's been since the Eli Manning era there.
Yeah, I mean they were winning Super Bowls, or they were getting Super Bowls and stuff. But yeah, I don't think any of the guys on the team are still left over from that.
Right. No, I meant since they had a playoff appearance. Even,
right? Correct. Yes, absolutely. I'll give it to Brian Daboll, of course, OC for the Bills last couple of years, who've been in the playoffs, but it's obviously a different feeling.
But anyway, so before the Drake London and his amazing catch for a touchdown interrupted, what I was talking about is that you reminded me that those kick-ups were really interesting, because almost every time there's like a scrum happening underneath it, because it just sky it, and then like a whole bunch of guys just like kind of like the glitch with just a little scrum happening underneath the ball, skied up in the air, being held up by the winds. It was very, very bizarre. I almost felt like we were about to get into the glitch again a few times there in that game.
That's all we would have needed. Here's another nice throw and catch to Ricky Seals-Jones for a first down. He's been pretty much the entire offense, with 4 of the 6 completions going his way. Daniel Jones here. You can see a good look at Evan Neal, the left tackle, handling Lorenzo Carter one-on-one, firing it deep over the middle. Coming back to the football is his receiver. That's Kadarius Toney, and a first down. Giants all the way up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, you give him all day to throw like that, and he's going to pick you apart as you see his receivers really just recognizing a need to come back to their quarterback, and that's what he does. And he was just sitting in space.
To try to go to the right side, and Arnold Ebiketie just absolutely playing wonderful football here this first half.
Yep.
And Saquon has negative yards so far in this game. 2nd and 13, as we've got about 9.5 to go in this first half. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, joining you here for Nagy on Sports. Left side, throw it short, and Saquon will catch it and fall out of bounds. Just give him a gain of 3 to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Sets up a 3rd and 10. Back to pass. Jones firing it left side. Caught! It's Toney again! No, they're going to say he's out of bounds. Oh, no.
Yeah, I thought he might have barely gotten his feet in, but I guess that second one carried out of bounds. So unfortunate, because that would have been a nice drive continuance there.
Richard, I guess I should have checked. I used to get in the habit of checking before games to see what the injury report looked like. So he must have heard it like in week 18 or week 7. I mean, he was in the game in week 18, right? I think he only had 1 sack to get to 41 for the year. But so he must have just tweaked it or whatever. So the 1 week should expire, and he should be back for the next game, I would hope.
Right, because you still have to advance the week, so it should be
correct.
This should be the 1 week he was out.
We would hopefully he'll be back. Sometimes they give you that, like, do you want to start him with a higher risk of injury kind of a thing. But I'm hopeful that he will be back, because yes, it was apparent, as good as our defensive line is, obviously when you're missing the best player in the game, it's going to make a difference.
Oh yeah, no, that we definitely started out flat-footed on the defense. We found ways to overcome it. Denzel Ward in particular was awesome to be really the best player, the anchor of that defense. But
yep.
And came up in big ways when we had to have him. No, especially starting with that. I mean, again, we've talked about it a ton on this channel. The pressure is really the genesis of everything good that happens for a defensive unit.
Pressure had forced Ritter to throw that first one out of bounds. That second one, however, goes short to Cordero Patterson. And you'll see here on the replay, just nobody around him, and he's honestly, if he keeps that foot in bounds, he's probably gone. Look how much field he has to himself over there, but just steps out of bounds, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, again, that field awareness is so important. Understanding where that sideline is, where your feet are, trying to keep yourself in bounds in a spot like that, and it makes a big difference in terms of yardage when you keep yourself in bounds when you got room like that.
Another 3-man rush for the Giants, and gives Ritter plenty of time to find Patterson for another 9 yards here. An ace formation with about 7 to go in the first half of this final NFC wildcard game. Firing it right side and out of bounds. The 49ers had the bye, so they're headed on to the next one. The Lions beat the Cowboys, so they're headed on. And then as well, the Buccaneers beat the Saints. So 49ers, Buccaneers, Lions, and one of these two teams will be continuing on to the divisional round as another first down throw and catch. Auden Tate's first one, former Cincinnati Bengal.
So best guess for us right now, Mason, is that yes, we would expect that Myles Garrett will be out there for us in the next one.
Yeah, we'll know this afternoon. I've got a lunch date with my parents actually, and then after this afternoon we'll do the Bills-Chargers game, and then we'll advance the week and see what the matchups are and find out Myles' status. We'll know even today. Nice run again by Patterson. Give him a first down. First and goal now at the 7. Really nice opportunity here for the Falcons to blow this thing wide open if they want to. Ritter waiting, firing left side, coming back to the football. He's got his rookie, Drake London, a twofer in the first half.
Yeah, he hadn't shown up pretty much the whole game until these last 2 drives, and then shows up in a big way on big touchdown receptions. There's his second.
23-3, and Young Huku pretty solid, so I would suggest 24-3 now with 5:18 to go here in the first half. A good highlight of Arnold Ibikiti there, as he's been very solid to help this Falcon defense generate offense. And the young rookie quarterback Desmond Ritter now with a couple of touchdown passes to Drake London.
Hey, Kevin, welcome in. Go Browns.
Yeah, hey, Kevin. Kevin, you got to watch last night's Browns-Jaguars game. It was bonkers.
It was, absolutely.
My playoff predictions for the NFC. I mean, until Tom Brady's gone, you got to assume Tom Brady will be there. I mean, again, in our sim, the entire NFC South went 10-7. I could see it being pretty close to that. It'll, what version of Jameis do we get? How does Baker settle into Carolina? So that division, you're kind of like, coin toss. I think it's probably still the Cowboys' division to lose in the East, despite what these Giants would have to say and despite what the Commanders are going to try to sell you on Carson Wentz.
Yep.
Of course, their defense is so good. If they stay healthy, that's obviously the great equalizer. Is a nice sack there for the Falcon defense, and they just continue to dominate. In the West, it's hard to root against the champs, right? I mean, they didn't lose a lot of pieces, even though he flirted with retirement. Deep throw left side, he got it in! No, they're going to say it was out of bounds. Man.
I thought he was in for sure, but that would have been
I thought he was
nice.
too. Not even a review. They could have reviewed that one.
Interesting. May have been worth a challenge.
Instead, they will punt it away now, and now the Falcons with a chance to really blow this thing wide open here before half. So I don't know. I think the 49ers will be okay. I think the Cardinals will be okay. Seahawks will not be.
No.
And then, how much will Aaron Rodgers suffer without Devontae? They went all in on the shoring up the defensive side. I don't think you got to worry about the Lions just yet. I don't think you have to worry about the Bears, unfortunately, for Justin Fields.
No.
The Vikings, they've got a new coach. They've got some nice pieces there with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, but also, limited by what Kirky Cousins can give you. So
That's right.
I could talk myself into a lot of different things, but I'll go with the champs, and I'll say like Rams, Buccaneers in an NFC championship.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. A lot of divisions over there. Pretty much all four of them are essentially up for grabs, with maybe one solid team that you expect to be there. But the NFC is nothing compared to the AFC in terms of just pure arms race.
Nice throw, and Drake London again. Since I called him out, he has balled out. 3 catches, 95 yards, 2 of them for touchdowns. As you can see on a 3rd and 17, Ritter just throws this thing up. Very much of a prayer of a throw. Mm-hmm. And Drake London, just not even a contested catch, just a beautiful body control catch there from the rookie from USC. Was the first receiver taken for a reason.
Applied, sometimes it'll do that. Like, you have to look, instead of looking on the main page, look under videos and it'll show up there or something.
Or go to the playlist.
Or a playlist under the season 4. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but when it fully posts, then you'll see it normally.
Yeah, it's takes it 15 hours to process or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But it's there. It's definitely on the channel. It's worth a watch. That was a wild game.
Big run to the right side. Patterson 10-5 touchdown Falcons. Wow, the beatdown at MetLife is on with 2 minutes and a second to go. They're going to go up by 4 touchdowns. Wow, big time run. Look at this block out here on the outside. That's Brian Edwards, the receiver, and he springs 2 different defenders. Patterson into the end zone, touchdown Falcons.
Yeah, and a nice little shifty cut, not a very big cut, but a very subtle cut, just to give himself enough space to break out to the outside there, inside of the block. It was really nicely done, especially because it didn't waste any of his speed to the edge out on the outside with that, not a big juke, allowing the pursuing defense to catch him on cutoff angles.
Indeed. All right, short kick now to the 10. Whoa, big hit. The ball's out. It's going to be picked up by the Falcons at the 17. And when it rains, it pours. That was a massive shot. Kadarius Toney just absolutely got drilled.
Yep, and these Falcons
came to play. Oh, my gosh. They could go up 35 here.
Yep.
With plenty of time, 3 timeouts in 2 minutes here, and they are standing at their own set, or at the 17-yard line of the Giants. Quick little throw left side. Morning, Larry, and welcome back.
So,
yeah, you go ahead.
Mason, it's interesting with Cordell because yes, he is technically he's effectively a big-bodied wide receiver that plays running back. He's kind of like that hybrid type player. It's weird though because the Falcons don't really have a traditional running back on their roster right now. They've got effectively Cordell Patterson. So it's this weird. He's almost like an H-back style. Oh, that one's going to get picked. Back-to-back
Ritter's going to give it right back. Xavier Mckinney and a little bit of a shot in the arm for the Giants defense. Xavier Mckinney from Alabama. Yeah, he came into the league as like a kick returner, like an athlete for the Bears, remember, Cordell Patterson.
Yep.
And came over to the Vikings several years ago and just kind of transitioned to running back, and he's been very effective. So he is a full-time running back for them now. So much so that his position in Madden and everything has been changed officially, but he still wears that number 84.
That's right.
But yes, he is sort of like Deebo Samuel before Deebo Samuel. If Deebo ever made the full-time switch to running back, which I'm not sure why anybody would do that because you take so many more hits. But for Patterson, it was kind of like, this is what we need you to do to stay in the league. Here's a nice throw to Sterling Shepard, by the way, and the Giants are going to try to squeak some points out here.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like if Josh Cribbs had gone and switched over to running back, kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great example. Yeah, came in as an athlete, excelled as a kick returner / playing some receiver. Daniel Jones fires again. Another chest by Shepard. Broken tackle to the 5, to the 3. Sterling Shepard. And all of a sudden, a little bit of urgency on this drive for the Giants as they might get a touchdown here before half, which would be huge. Yes, that's absolutely the best example of it, as if Josh Cribbs had just kind of become a full-time running back. Right side, he'll throw it out of bounds. But Cordell Patterson is also still their kick returner, I think. So
yes, I believe that's true.
Just trying to find a way to get a playmaker the ball in his hands. 2nd and goal now. Danny Jones in trouble. Pressure coming. Here comes Comiskey. Here comes Grady Jarrett, and Jarrett will throw him down at the 15. And they're going to call their final timeout with 10 seconds. Dangerous now because this one's got to be in the end zone. A sack here ends the half. And Jones will throw it away. Actually, there is a receiver over there, and that seals Jones, and he'll get about 4 yards. And so, unfortunately, they're going to have to settle for Graham Gano field goal. 31-10 feels just a little bit better than 31-6, but both of those feel better than 38-3, which is where they were headed. So credit Xavier McKinney with the interception, and the Giants with a very quick drive, a couple of nice throws to Sterling Shepard. And they at least got some of the momentum built down, and I believe the Giants will get the second half kick here in 2 seconds too. So who knows? It's not over just yet. Because for the last couple of years they've had Mike Davis, this kind of like more of like a big-bodied running back with Cordell Patterson, so it's sort of like a thunder and lightning situation. But Patterson just played way better, and they ended up cutting Mike Davis. Actually on the Ravens now, Mike Davis is. Here's a look at what the NFC wildcard round looks like again. Tampa has already beaten New Orleans, and Detroit has already beaten Dallas, and right now Atlanta is beating the New York Giants. And again, the 15-2 Trey Lance led San Francisco 49ers await the lowest remaining seed, or highest remaining seed. I'm not sure how I would say that. The highest number seed, which makes them the lowest.
So I was curious. I was wondering about the that running back situation. If they had actually looked to address that in the draft. Looks like they did draft a running back, Algiers.
Yes, Tyler Algier out of BYU.
Yeah, but interesting situation there in Atlanta because again, Cordell Patterson. Not that he's, he's kind of that age factor type return / he's more of a specialist than a running back, which is, not that he's bad as a running back by any means, but you almost feel like you if you draft somebody, to be that guy, you could certainly, stand to replace him.
I would say there's certainly an opportunity that Tyler Algier will turn into that guy this year, but Madden didn't think so yet, so it's Cordell Patterson's job. 2nd and 2 here's Barkley again, and he has gone absolutely nowhere. Tyler Davison right in the middle of the line, as Barkley has been on the struggle bus all game so far after we talked about how effective he was.
Yep.
I think he had like 1,500 yards in the season. He had a great season, but
he's a big part of their offense. He's a lot of what they're trying to trying to do. So not being able to get him going is going to be very detrimental to their offense.
And Grady Jarrett, another tackle behind the line of the quarterback. They'll call those sacks, and that's going to be a 3-and-out. Here comes the hammer. So 8 yards on that first play of the half, and then they proceeded to go backwards another 15. There's the aforementioned Cordell Patterson. He'll make the fair catch at the 42-yard line. And Ritter in the offense back out on the field. A good, healthy amount of momentum for this rookie. Ritter back to pass. Pressure coming right up his face. He'll dump it left side to Patterson. Gets a block and gets a first down before getting ripped out of bounds by Darnay Holmes, the cornerback out of UCLA.
Yeah, he kind of is your Mason, and obviously making the playoffs. He had to have played well through the season to be here.
To be 12-5.
Yeah, in the real world, I think this is very much a make or break year for Daniel Jones. If he does not perform well, I would very much expect for the Giants to have had enough and move on. Because
do you think the Giants could be in secret tank mode to try to get, because if you throw Bryce Young or CJ Stroud on this team, watch out.
So I think they are. I think they're very much in. Let's see what we can do to not win very many games. I think Seattle's in that same spot. A couple other teams. Atlanta, interestingly, is pseudo in that spot. Now they got Desmond Ritter, so maybe they think that's their future. But there are a few teams out there that certainly could be in the discussion for, let's see if we can't get a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud type to come in and really bolster. And yes, I think the Giants roster outside of the quarterback position really is.
Another pick in the end zone is a McKinney again. He's going to get up from the 1. Unfortunately, he'll only get back to the 5. It is Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, you got to take a knee there.
So Ritter, 2 picks to Xavier McKinney, and that one could have been picked by 2 different players. Look at this replay. Adoree Jackson, 22, was right there as well.
Yep. Very nice play, though, from Xavier McKinney. Just skying for that. It's pretty.
So the Giants with yet
take a knee in the end zone, though, next time.
I was going to say, another like get-out-of-jail-free card, potentially. If they can score the next touchdown here, swing a little bit of that momentum, they still have a chance, but they are running out of opportunities for sure here. 10:33 on the clock here when this ball is going to be snapped. 2nd and 7. They're setting up screen in the end zone. Watch out, Grady Jarrett. He's barely able to get rid of it. It hits Barkley in the feet. 3rd and 7.
Well, that was dangerous.
The screen game has been broken for a long time in Madden. If you've watched many of our sims, the screens are most often just sacks. Very, very rarely will they get into yards. Very rarely will they actually get 10-plus yards.
Right. Well, and most of the time they're lucky. Most of the time they're lucky just to get the ball away, let alone.
Correct.
So the fact that they're setting up for a screen with the quarterback sitting in the end zone seems incredibly risky to me with the way the screens have been of late. So he was lucky to get that one away.
Absolutely. Back to pass, Daniel Jones. They blitz a bunch of people. Deion Jones right down the A-gap. Cruising down Broadway, and he'll sack Jones immediately. That was fast. He got there in a hurry.
Yeah, he sure did.
Next-gen stats will tell you 3 seconds to get right up in his grill.
Yeah, a little stunt action there, and he just found his way through a seam that wasn't picked up by the shift. So, beautiful little rush package there from Atlanta.
Big throw left side. Got single coverage. He's got Galladay, and he can't get the second foot in bounds. Third and 19 again now. And Daniel Jones, big chuck down the field, middle of the field, triple coverage. It's an arm punt. Picked off by the Falcons, 45, 50 to the 45, down near the 40. And that's Richie Grant, second-year safety out of UCF.
Yeah.
With a big-time pick, but that was just a straight-up arm punt.
It was. I'm not sure what he thought he saw, but maybe should not throw into triple coverage here.
Yeah,
that was ugly.
Find another place to throw. A.J. Terrell was back there, a linebacker was back there, and the safety Richie Grant. So Not the best option, and now more momentum for the Falcons. Essentially, if they score again, I think I'm going to declare the game over if it's not already.
Yep.
Here comes Patterson up the middle. Nice shed in the middle by the defensive tackle. That's DJ Davidson, and he'll bring him down for a TFL of 2.
Welcome in 504. Yeah, this has been just a whooping as Atlanta has taken New York out to the woodshed. But yeah, I don't know about the notifications. Obviously, YouTube is really unreliable, but you should have gotten a Discord notification because we did send out the at everyone this morning.
3rd and 12, Ritter, and he'll throw it out of bounds. That's going to bring in Young-Hoo Koo. He's going to try almost a 60-yard field goal here, a 59-yarder for Young-Hoo Koo. His kick, it looks long enough. It is good. Young-Hoo Koo from 59.5 yards.
Yeah, nice kick.
Yeah, clearly a little wind headed that way as well. We'll find out exactly how much here on the kickoff. You can tell how deep into the end zone the kickoffs go. Some wind, but not a ton.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's another thing about Madden that's not overly accurate. The kickers are better than that. Even with wind, they're going to kick it in such a way that to try to drop it on the one. Unless, there are some teams that just kick it out of the back of the end zone regardless.
Yeah.
But Browns are certainly not one of them. Mike Preef believes in dropping the ball on the one if they can, and then providing the best coverage they can. Is a huge sack here for Daniel Jones as he just kind of worked backwards constantly, and then the pressure just kept coming.
Arnold Ebiketie, Penn State University, having an absolute monster day.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 23 now. Jones back to pass, just a 4-man rush. Pressure breaks down again, and they're going to get him right at the 1. Tyler Davidson and Ebiketie both there, maybe credited with a half sack each. Number 7 on the day for this Falcons defense, and now it's 3rd and forever.
Yeah, and keep in mind the reason why that one is not being called a safety is because where the ball was when contact was first made with Daniel Jones, it was just out of the end zone, but then the tackle and the momentum obviously took him into the end zone. But they're still going to credit him with that, what they call forward progress there at the half-yard line.
All right, the Scottish Hammer here with a short approach as he'll be punting on 4th and 32 from inside his own end zone.
Oof.
He'll left-footed up into the air, almost tipped. Going to be taken by Patterson at his 44-yard line, so in more great field position now.
Well, I'm not sure why he was standing in the middle of the end zone. He should have been on the back line there to receive. And you want as much space as you possibly can in a spot like that. So interesting because he self-compressed, which is not what you want to do, and brings up the odds of the punt being blocked that much higher, especially in a position like that. You block a punt, very likely it turns very quickly into a touchdown.
2nd and 9, Ritter left side. Drake London, first down throw, first down catch. That's 5 for Drake London, 125 yards and a couple of touchdowns for the rookie out of USC. First receiver taken in the 2022 draft, of course. Patterson will try the right side, not much going, but again, at this point, they're just trying to run that clock and live to play another game. They, of course, will have to fly out to the West Coast as the lowest remaining seed. They will head to play San Francisco, which means that we will see Tampa Bay and Detroit as the other NFC divisional playoff game. 3rd and 16 now. Ritter back to pass. Nice move by Ojulari, but he gets rid of it, and then Edwards drops it over the middle. And Young-Hoo Koo steps back in for another long field goal. This one's going to be from 56. Young-Hoo Koo back to kick. And it's up, and it's good again. So Young-Hoo Koo, a 59 and a 56-yarder on back-to-back possessions. 37-6 now as New York booking their tee times for next week because they will not be playing football. Mason, it depends on who wins. If the Chargers beat the Bills, we will play Baltimore. If the Bills beat the Chargers, we will play the Bills. Is that what we decided? Pretty excited.
Think so, yeah.
Jump ball caught by Slayton and into the end zone. Wow. Big, just heave of a prayer throw, and Slayton goes up high and makes a great catch.
Well, I think this was it looked like he tipped it to himself, like a little.
He may have it. It skipped the replay. I didn't skip it.
Yeah, I think that was a tip drill, a second tip drill touchdown of this ball game, where he kind of made first contact, popped up a little bit, but then on the second effort came away with it, and by then the defender was not in a position to make the play anymore.
There. That's the most concise way of putting it. So this afternoon's game still very much matters and will outcome who the Browns play. The one thing we do know is that the Browns cannot play the Chargers in the next round.
That's right.
Which is good because they have been our secret Madden simulated kryptonite in the playoffs.
That's right. Well, and plus,
dating back to our first sim season.
If they win, we get a shot at the Ravens, which would be a chance for sweet revenge.
Mm-hmm. And if we do end up having to play the Chargers in the championship game, it would definitely be a home game. So
yes,
gives us a little bit of a bump there as well.
Mm-hmm.
3:35 to go here. Game's been a little bit of a snoozer despite some fun individual plays. Ritter here, Kyle Pitts, another out route, another first down for the Falcons before he's cut down by Darnay Holmes. 358 and 3 touchdowns for the rookie Desmond Ritter. He has been very good today.
Sure has.
Daniel Jones has not been very good today. Little throw over the middle to Patterson, and he'll run after that. Excuse me, was a run rather, and he'll get it near the first down, give him about 9.5. Sets up 2nd and inches.
And
nobody's going to block Zimenez, and he's going to get in there.
Yep, 504. I'm not sure if you saw it in our Discord, but your boy Perrion Winfrey did sign with the Browns this morning. So
correct.
One item off your list. And just really the outstanding what happens with Watson, and I think the entire NFL is kind of holding their breath as in terms of what happens with that, and we won't know until we know.
Third and 6, and yes, the Browns rookies report tomorrow, and the veterans next week. So we're getting close, for sure. Yeah, Larry, with them as the first seed and us as the second seed, there's no way we will match up against them in the next round. So,
right.
What I had said earlier, so this Bills-Chargers game that we'll do this afternoon, if the Bills win, we'll play the Bills. If the Chargers win, we will play the Ravens. That's how it will slot up. And then obviously if we're playing the Bills, the Ravens play the Chiefs. And if we're playing the Ravens, then the Chargers would play the Chiefs. A couple of divisional matchups could set up there.
Yep.
1st and 10, still 37-13 here, about 1.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Just ready for this one to get itself over with. Sometimes the 15-minute quarter thing is a curse, not just a blessing. But we like the realism of it.
Yep.
And that's why we've done it from day one here on the channel. Grady Jarrett will get his 3rd sack of the day of Danny Dimes, and Jones is like, get me out of here.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, not all NFL football games are exciting or fun to watch. I mean, there are some
very true, really
hard to watch games that just after a certain point and it's very clear who's won. It's not the most exciting entertainment, but certainly we won't take that away. As speaking of takeaways, yet another one here for this Falcons secondary.
Casey Hayward coming over from the Chargers in free agency with another arm punt interception. To be fair, he's throwing it about the same distance that the Scottish Hammer is punting it from the end zone. So
yikes. Oh, that's not good.
No. Ritter back to pass on a 1st and 10. He'll fire a dart left side. Nice catch going up for Drake London, the rookie, down to the 25 as he had a quiet first quarter and then really has balled out since. A very, very good game. You can see 6 for 146 for the rookie.
Yeah, you called for it, plus the 2 touchdowns. He's been very good.
And here he is again, catch number 7, which will take us to the end of the third quarter. Appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports, live NFL simulations with original commentary, only place on the internet that you can get that. We have simulated the entirety of the 2022 season with all the rookies, all the free agents, all the trades, and they have led us to these playoffs. You can see the other matchups that have happened scrolling along the bottom, but this NFC wildcard game will be won by the Atlanta Falcons, who again came in. They were the very last wildcard team, just squeaked in, had to win in Tampa Bay in Week 18 to get here, and they did just that. And now they have come in here hot and have absolutely lit up the Giants at home and headed for the next round of the playoffs against either the Buccaneers or the... Actually, we already decided they will play the Buccaneers, right? So we decided. No, they'll play the 49ers because they're the 7th seed.
Right. But yeah, that game between the Atlanta and Buccaneers, obviously both teams made it, but both teams won in the first rounds of the playoffs. So, could be setting up for a rematch very quickly. Very
well. Now they'd have to get through the 15-2 49ers to do so, but it's the playoffs and anything can happen here at this point for sure. But we very much appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much to our subscribers, both new and old. I think we're at 793 last I checked, as we continue to make our push for 1,000 so that we can monetize the channel. Just thank you so much. We really appreciate it. YouTube also likes when you like the videos. If you haven't had a chance to like this video or some of the other ones, you can do that too. Also, if you'd like to join our Discord community, you can do that. It's very easy and free to do. Just click the link inside the description of this and any of our other videos. Discord is a chance to chat with Kit and I and the rest of the community. Between Sims, we were, in fact, chatted this morning, broke the news that Perrion Winfrey signed his deal on that chat feature this morning. And then also find out in advance of when we're going to sim. So I put in there at about 9:15 that we were simming at 10, and there's going to be a nice throw and a catch for a touchdown to Kyle Pitts for a little icing on the cake here for this one, although it looks like maybe Madden's going to booth review it for reasons unknown. But anyway, you can join us on the Discord if you'd like to do that. We'll always try to let you know in advance of when the sim will start, so you don't have to wait for YouTube to say, hey, they've started.
That's right.
And this one is going to stand. They're not even going to show it to us. They're just going to show us the ref talking to his buddy. Young Huku in to add more points, 44-13 now after a nice long time-consuming drive. And again, a little icing on top of this cake that's been built since about the middle of the second quarter, if we're being honest, when they went up 31-6.
Yep.
That was pretty much the end of it right there. Rick, take care of yourself. Let's see, if I've got lunch at 12, let's just say like in the 2:30 to 3 o'clock range. That would be my guess. He started the game well, Mason. Pitts has, but it turned into the Drake London show quickly. 44-13 now with 12:13 to go. This 12 minutes could feel like an eternity. Grady Jarrett right up the middle. Is that number 4 for Jarrett? I think it might be. It is. Sack number 4 for Grady. Remember last year when there was like the Browns might get Grady Jarrett? And I was like, oh my gosh, if they got Grady Jarrett, that would be incredible.
That would be incredible.
That was even after Clowney, or maybe that was instead of Clowney. I can't remember. I just remember at some point it was like, look at Grady Jarrett to be a potential target for the Browns. And I was like, oh my gosh. He would look pretty nice on that defensive line as well.
Sure would.
Short throw to Sterling Shepard on the right side. His third catch of the day. 3rd and 19. And here's the draw to Barkley, and he'll run right into a defender, and it probably his best run of the day, actually. He's going to pick up 7 entire yards. That gives him 14 on the day. So he doubles his total on one run, and on a 4th and 13, they're going to go for it. Why not?
Well, I mean, this one's probably pointless at this. I mean, there's no way you've got enough time to overcome this deficit, but maybe it makes you feel better.
Maybe they want an arm punt. Here we go, left side. Yeah, Sterling Shepard could one hand, but couldn't get 2 on it. Casey Hayward in coverage, and you look at this replay here, he almost is able to bring it in. Maybe a blue Giant jersey with a 1 and a 3 instead of a 3 brings that in a couple years ago with Mr. Beckham.
Yep.
Just look at the rookie, 31 of 44. He has been balling today.
Yep.
Has Desmond Ridder left side, little bang cut up the middle, good blocking, running hard. Patterson to the 9. He's up near 100 yards as well on 20 carries. As again, the Falcons just all kinds of in control right now.
Yeah, just bludgeon, and that's the problem with going for it there. Although maybe it makes you feel better if you don't get it. Now you're looking at a bigger blowout.
Yeah, you don't want to just willingly admit the defeat, but it's, which a punt would have been, but it's like, come on, we all know it's over. For our sake, end it. Like, going to give him 396 now and sets up a 3rd and goal. Chance for his 5th touchdown pass here. Yep, could be the 50-burger coming. Mason predicts it. Ridder alone in the backfield. Pressure is now breaking through. Watch out, Dexter Lawrence gets home. Dexter Lawrence, of course, will always be linked to the Browns because he was taken with that Browns pick that they gave for Odell Beckham. Obviously, we can, play hindsight game on it, but I still think at the time it was a good trade. Got some juice for Cleveland that's, is still there. And obviously Beckham didn't end up doing what we thought or wanted him to be able to do. But still an excellent football player wanting to play for our team, which is fun. Ooh, another big hit and another special teams fumble! Picked up by the fullback Keith Smith. And the poor Giants.
Yeah, poor Giants indeed. And the 50-burger is right back up on the table.
Yes,
here we go.
It is. Even a field goal here will 50-burger it. Ridder would like his 5th touchdown, though. He's going to be back to pass. I can't believe they're still throwing. Drake London.
Yeah, you'd certainly like them to be in shoe clock mode at this point, but again, Madden does not make the most sensible decisions because we haven't met the thresholds that it normally would use because this is a normal game.
No, it's not. Little motion across the face for the tight end, and then they run Patterson up the middle. He'll pick up about 7. That's going to give him 100 exactly on the day. 1st and goal now for the Falcons with under 7:30 to play. Fullback checks in there, and Patterson will get a couple before running into DJ Davidson. Nose tackle there in the middle of this defense. 47-13, under 7 minutes to go. I still don't know why they're not shoe clocking. I really don't.
Yeah.
Still snapping it with 12 seconds is not important. Wide open over the middle, touchdown, Brian Edwards. And that is 5. He does the Chief slam without the football. That is 5 touchdown passes for the rookie Desmond Ridder. And there is your 50-burger, Mason.
I was going to say.
With the Atlanta Falcons now 54-13. Just an absolute beatdown here.
Yep.
In the big city.
The old 50-burger has been served, and get it while it's hot, because this is an ugly, ugly beatdown here of the New York, and they're gonna have to reset coming out of this game, because a playoff appearance and a good season with a good record means nothing when you get absolutely demolished by the number 7 seed in the playoffs.
448 to 189 in total yards. It has been a complete and thorough beatdown. Add in 2 special teams fumbles as well. And the Falcons are soundly beating them in all 3 phases. Daniel Jones on a 2nd and 1. He's back to pass. Bouncing against a 3-man rush. Now he'll fire late, breaking wide open over the middle. Sterling Shepard, 35 to the 30 to the 25. Sterling Shepard. So some garbage yards coming here late as Daniel Jones now almost up to 350 through the air, but when it counted, he was not good. And again, I think you're still back to the drawing board. If y'all on the channel decide that Kit and I should continue to go ahead as... Jeez. He's got a family. Rashawn Evans just absolutely decleats Darius Slayton. 2nd and 1 here. But when we vote on what we want us to do after this season, as Daniel Jones will throw to Kenny Galladay. Touchdown, Giants. Yay. The Bronx cheer just outside of the Bronx. One of the options will obviously be continuing with just a regular NFL season into 2023. But that'll be one of the biggest decisions is what we decide to do with Daniel Jones, if the Giants are going to continue to go forward with him or find somebody else. I mean, even like a Baker Mayfield, like if Panthers don't want to keep him or somebody like that on this Giants roster is a significant upgrade.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I remember Mason. I just don't think that you take a running back that high.
No.
That's too volatile of a position.
Well, and Nick Chubb, I mean, you look at where he was drafted by comparison, and he has been a much, much better running back in the NFL than Saquon Barkley. Not that Saquon Barkley isn't talented, he just can't stay healthy. And Nick Chubb has been an absolute dynamo for the Browns.
Yeah. Browns learned that one the hard way with Mr. Richardson. Number 3 overall, Trent Richardson. And
that's right.
Even though he had a pretty good rookie year, they were like, we've made a horrible mistake. And I can't believe we actually fleeced the Colts for a draft pick for him.
Right.
First round draft pick, I think, too, right?
I
think we did. I think that was one of those, because I think that was maybe the year we got Manziel, and Gilbert was the year after that with that extra first round pick for as awesome as that draft was. Patterson will continue to run. At least finally now they're letting the play clock run all the way down, as this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning, pending an incomplete pass. Ritter back to pass. He's spread him out 5 wide, and of course it's an incomplete pass, which will stop the clock before the 2-minute warning and bring in Dom Maggio to punt the football away.
It was a first-round pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like a fleecing. They were like, I can't believe that they got a first-round pick for Trent Richardson.
Yeah.
But was that the draft that then became Gilbert and Manziel? That's the part that I was.
It was 2014. The 2014 first-round pick. So hold on, let me find out.
I mean, I was gonna say that could be, or that could be the Brandon Whedon year.
Hold on, we'll find out what it turned into.
We've got time. The game isn't going anywhere. Mason and Kevin confirming for us that they did get that first round pick for Trent Richardson. Under 2 minutes to go, but out of bounds. Third and 14 here. Danny Jones in the shotgun. And another arm punt right side. Incomplete.
Yep, that pick. Well, actually, was that the number? Did the Colts have the number 8 or the number 22?
I have no idea. Were we good or mediocrely bad?
I think we were pretty. I think we were pretty bad. So it probably was the number 22. That pick would have became Johnny Manziel.
Jonathan Manziel. So maybe the joke's on us. Trent Richardson turned into Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, that was the Justin Gilbert, Johnny Manziel, Joel Bitonio, Christian Kirksey, Terrence West, and Pierre Desir. Although Pierre Desir went on to have a very good, very, very good with Buffalo.
Welcome in, V. Yes, they did. And actually, if you go back on the channel, they won their wildcard game yesterday with Dallas. So they are headed on to the second round of the playoffs, and they will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll bring you that game tomorrow or this weekend. But yes, your Lions did make the playoffs. Funny how those kinds of things work out. Was that? I mean, obviously 1-31 can't really be topped, but in terms of like the lowest points, I was gonna say, Mason, like, was that the lowest point of Jimmy Haslam's ownership career? When he was like, some homeless guy told me to take Johnny Manziel, and he inserted his will.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not sure how much of that was tongue-in-cheek and/or real, but certainly not a highlight of the ownership group. and
again,
the decisions made.
I'm never a big fan of like the let's go back and see who was taken after that, who we could have had instead game, but obviously there's plenty of very good football players that were taken after that 22 pick.
2014 was a very good draft.
And finally, we've reached triple zeros, 54-20. Brian Daboll unhappy with his first playoff outing here as the rookie Desmond Ridder, along with his rookie teammate Drake London, and another rookie, Arnold Ebiketie, on the defensive side, really paced these Falcons. And an absolute drubbing of the Giants here at home, in fact, is going to be the result. So I'll cycle through these. Kit, why don't you wrap it up?
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it, drubbing indeed, as New York is now really going to have to figure some things out, because after what was a great season for them, they got absolutely embarrassed here by the number 7 seed. They came in the number 2 seed, so clearly they did very, very well, but still have a lot to figure out about how to go forward into the playoffs, because you can't go out and get absolutely slaughtered by a team that snuck into the playoffs in a 4-way boat race there in the NFC South. So. But credit Atlanta coming out with a very strong game plan, first Pitts, and then they shifted over, really targeting a lot of London, and those two together had incredible days, as you see from the stats there, and were very, very involved in the game plan, and Desmond Ridder was calm, cool, and collected, playing very well in his first playoff appearance in the NFL. So credit him with some good, and of course, we talked a little bit about Cordell Patterson, but he provided some nice juice for them on the run game as well. So it ultimately ends up with New York just getting boat raced, and the Falcons came to play.
Yes, they did. All right. Just one more game remains here in the wild card round, and again, try to bring that one to you sort of 2:33 o'clock-ish time this afternoon, and that will be the Buffalo Bills hosting the LA Chargers. And again, that game does determine who the Browns will play. So again, if the Bills win, we will play the Bills. And if the Chargers win, we will play the Ravens. So the NFC is set. Again, in the next round, you'll have San Francisco playing the Falcons here in this game. And then you will have the Buccaneers hosting the Detroit Lions in the other divisional game. So appreciate everybody being on with us. Thank you so much to our subscribers, both new and old and middle-aged ones too. We really appreciate all of you guys, are the best. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Again, we'll be back with our final wild card game here in several hours. We'll pay attention to the Discord for the exact kickoff time for that one. So for Kit out on the left coast, Phil here in Central Ohio, we are Nagy on Sports. Appreciate everybody being on with us today. Today we will say go Falcons, go Desmond Ridder and Drake London. And as always, go